Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with day 13 for Follow a Sketch February, a hop started by Scrapping Reflections, which is also Sandy and State Goddess here on YouTube. And this sketch is by Inspired Blueprints, and it has 3 squared off pictures, and these are all 3 the same picture, but my printer went a little funky, and so they came out in different ways, and I thought they were really cool looking, so I kept them. I'm going to use this mixed media. It's very thin paper, but it is by Colorbok or Colorbook. I don't know how you say that. But I wanted to use that because there's some really cool color tones in here, colors in here. And then I have these Hobby Lobby foam daisies, this little friendship thing. I'm only using that top one because the rest has pink in it, and I don't use pink with my best friend if I can help it. And then I have these Colorbok woven labels. They are old enough to where they don't stick anymore. And then these little things from Creative Memories. And then this is a branding strip from an American Crafts paper that I had, and I've got a bunch of them, and I'll explain later. And then I have these that I have no clue how long I've had them. They're super old, but I'm really considering using some of the things from here to add the embellishments. And I've got some doilies, and so I've got the black and white paper because I'm not sure which one I'm going to mat it on because the paper pad is thin. So I've got my papers, my embellishments, my pictures, and my sketch. So let's see how this goes. So first things first, I went through and pulled out what I wanted to use. And this is a scrap because it was partially used already. And so that makes me happy because my goal is always to use at least one scrap on every layout. And I use this paper as the base mat for the pictures, all 3 pictures. And I also use that branding strip, which is considered a scrap in my opinion as well. So yay. And then I also use that white paper, and I'm going to make a thin mat. I kind of should have flipped it around because the pictures are so light colored, but I wanted that dark color to be against the light blue, tealy aqua color that I'm using as my background paper. So I get these attached down to this white mixed media type paper, and then I get them all 3 down on this like orangish red paper because I thought that would be a good standout color against this aqua colored brick. And I'm looking to see which one I liked better, and I'd already tried the white out and it definitely faded that color out, so I decided to go with the black for sure. And so now I am going to put the doily down, and that's why I did not go ahead and mat this on the black, because I'm on the sketch you can see that it looks like it stops there, and then the matted bit behind it is just, there's no doily there. So I wanted to I got smart for once and did not attach the paper before doing that kind of thing, because I do that all the time, and then I'm trying to trim the doily off of the inside paper and not the background paper. It's just, so for once I kind of got that together. And I had this extra piece that I kept about 5 inches, I think, and it is also the 4 and like not even a quarter, it's like 4 1/8 or something wide. It's the same width as the white paper that I trimmed out for the picture. And then I matted on black. Since I'm going to use the whole thing on black, I thought I'd use that as a bit of an accent. And I am going to ink the edge of this doily with black soot. I considered pulling up the top doily a little to ink the edges of that as well. So that's why I kind of feel it right here. But there's a few pieces over here on the left side that are glued down pretty good, and I'm not willing to tear it, and I feel like it stands out well. The reason I want to ink the edges of the doily that's going over top of this tag that I made from the paper is because it's, you know, white on not much darker than white, and so it doesn't stand out very well. I originally thought I was going to completely ink these because I've done that before and I love doing that, changing this solid white doily to whatever color I'm working with, but I decided that I liked the white because I was using that as kind of an accent color behind the pictures and everything. So I left it that way. And I think it stands out enough, and some of it's going to get covered up anyway. So these bits and pieces came from Creative Memories back long ago. And I have quite a few of them, so anytime I get to thinking about it, I will pull them out. They're in a place that I don't necessarily pull from, but when I was pulling out my friendship embellishments, they were in that same space. And I thought, oh, this is the perfect time to use these. So since it's a very similar color to the background, I wanted to ink it so it would stand out, but I don't want to draw too much attention away from the pictures, so I just made it this lighter color. And then I'm going to use this bold color that I matted the pictures in to make these arrows. Now, they are not perfect, and I probably should have made them a little longer, but I'm okay because really all it is a pop of color up there, and a lot of it's going to get covered up by the different things that go up here on this corner. And I am terrible at cutting banners. I fixed that one down at the bottom because if you're looking at it going, oh my gosh, that's so crooked, I fixed it before I put it down, and I cover most of it. So I need I know that I can cut them on my Cricut, but when I'm creating like this and I'm like, oh yeah, I need a little this, if I don't plan it all, which is typically how I scrapbook, then, you know, it's something that I end up cutting. Now I can do a fishtail okay. It's normally a little off-centered, and I do have a tag maker, and I just saw the other day, I think that Sandy was using it, and it was in a live that I watched of hers, she was using a punch that made that fishtail banner. I need that in my life because I seriously just cannot. I did like fix this one a little bit, but it's still super wonky. So, you know, it's fine. It's just fine. So, like I said, it gets covered over with this little piece of blue paper. Now, these two things they're woven labels, and bless that first one I took off, not the one I'm laying down now, but the one down below. I thought it was going to be destroyed because the sticky part stayed on the packaging. I like peeled the whole thing off of the packaging. So, but I wanted to use them both. Originally, I thought I would just use this one that says something about being a friend, but then I decided that I was going to use this. I wish I might, and I may put a little word or like handwrite underneath that, something like go home or get out of the hospital or something like that, because that is what these pictures are. My best friend had surgery back in the beginning or the middle of December after school was out for the winter break, and this is the day she had surgery, which is impressive. And she was ready to go. She wanted to get out of the hospital and come home so that I could properly take care of her, because I was off because I worked for the schools, and so she came to stay with me for a little while so I could take care of her, and while she was recovering. And so this is the picture that we took at the hospital to send to our friends and her family, and tell them that she was okay. So she still has like the IV and all, or no, they'd taken the IV out, but she has like all the bandages and the hospital bracelets and all that kind of stuff still on her hand, in the picture. And of course, that's why we've got masks on. So, so I think I'm going to write something under there, because having something quirky and silly on here would be super fitting, because that's just the way the two of us are. So that little word phrase up there says attached at the hip, and I did fussy cut around it. It was on a clear backing, so I fussy cut around it so that extra squared off look wasn't there. And then on those daisies that I put down, those are her favorite, so I thought that was perfect. When I saw it on the sketch, I thought, yep, I'm going to use these. And they're from from Hobby Lobby. They're Paper Studio. And then this right here, I do not have any clue how long I've had these. They are very old. They're yellowy on the back. I cut this one out. That's the best way to be a friend or the best way to have a friend is to be one or something. I fussy cut it out of that tag because I didn't need the whole tag, but I wanted that phrase, and I decided to keep the button. And so because I kept the button, I decided I would embellish a little bit with that same kind of thing. So I take this other daisy and I cut it not fully in half, but I cut it to where I could tuck this one in up here, and then the other piece of it I'm going to put over here by the I wish I may, I wish I might. And then because I have that yellow on there, I decided I'm going to go ahead and bring the yellow and the blue buttons from this sticker sheet, and I'm going to put those in different places. So I have yellow in 3 places and that blue button as well in 3 places. So I felt like that was going to, help bring that together. And I have another picture. I can't remember if it's in my stash to make a layout with it, and I may have already done it. If I haven't already done it, see, this is how crazy I am. If I haven't already done it, then I will create another layout with the picture the next day saying that like updating the friends and family, and I'll use some of those other goodies from that sticker sheet to bring those buttons and stuff in. So now I'm going to mat this on the black. I love how everything pops off this page once the black background is on there. And now I'm done. I considered some mixed media, but changed my mind. So here is the sketch one more time. If you all are interested in these sketches, you can join the Scrapping Reflections Facebook group on Facebook. And then if you're interested in watching all the other creatives who are using the sketches for Follow Sketch February, you can use the hashtag that is in my title as well as in the description to find them on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And you should definitely check out State Goddess, who has started this whole thing, who runs Scrapping Reflections on Facebook as well as her store. And other than that, I hope that you all will put a comment below. I'd love a thumbs up, a like, and if you haven't subscribed, I would love that too. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and happy scrapping.